Hi, my name is Victor. I work in the MikroTik marketing team, and today we are having a small community moment. We will talk about our newest newsletter, and also I will try my best to answer some of your questions in the YouTube comments, forum threads, and so on. So let's dive right in. So the first community question. Someone is calling us out on the quote that the new 100 gigabit switch is the next step in upgrading existing 10 or 25 gigabit networks. And he's saying, MikroTik, you don't have any 25 gigabit products in your portfolio. Actually we do. There are two CCRs 2004. One of them is a classic router, and the other one is a very funky, in a good way, PCI network card. And then there's also the CCR 2216, the new flagship. Next, the elephant in the room, Wi-Fi 6. We get this comment in every single video, even in switches. But rest assured, we are working on that. I promise. Where is Eva? Someone asks. Well, have you seen the movie Face Off? We're having kind of like Nicolas Cage and John Travolta situation here. I'm actually Eva. Another question below the CCR 504, the new 100 gigabit switch. What's the form factor? Will it fit into a 10-inch rack? Sorry, this is a 12-inch device, but we hear you. There are tons of 10-inch questions in the forums, in the comments. We're working on that. Actually, even today we had a meeting with the engineers, so 10-inch solutions are coming your way. Another chunk of questions is about dedicated firewall devices. So Routeros has a powerful firewall, but we are not really looking into making dedicated hardware firewalls at the moment. Sorry. That's it for the questions today, but obviously we will keep answering them in the comments. And also I would really suggest you join our forums, because there's a huge community of experts that sometimes can answer all kinds of questions even faster than we can. So back to the newsletter. 105 releases, and we try to improve each time, but to do that we really need your feedback. So what I kindly ask of you, please subscribe. I promise that we don't do any spam. It comes out like once a month or so, and we only release a newsletter when there's enough of new exciting products. We don't release a newsletter if there's nothing to cover, obviously. So no spam, tons of interesting, valuable information. Each newsletter has a discussion on the forums, and the community there, oh boy, they do know their stuff. Sometimes you can get all the answers like in a moment. But if for some reason you don't want to subscribe, that's fine. You can download all the newsletters in the blog section of our documentation page. So let's dissect the new newsletter. Front page, obviously, 100 gigabit switch. It's energy efficient. There's all kinds of features. It's backwards compatible with all kinds of SFP modules, and 100 gigabit switch under $800. The next product is for someone who enjoys his privacy, for someone who lives off the grid, for someone who cannot be trapped. It's the LHG LTE 18 kit. It's similar to the previous LHGG models, but this time it comes with the category 18 LTE modem, so speeds up to a gigabit. Can you imagine that? Gigabit? In the middle of nowhere. We really do live in the future. Now let's imagine you are living with someone who has troubles sleeping. Every night you would try to, I don't know, do your stuff, and your partner would wake up and say, oh my god, what's the racket? Can you keep the noise down? But you can't, because your switches have to stay cool. Boy, do I have a solution for you. And it might sound like I am suggesting something weird, but I'm not. I'm suggesting the new CCR 2004 with passive cooling. it is still a real beast under the hood, but there's no fans making all the noise. So you can enjoy all the power of a real CCR in peace and quiet. However, not everyone needs silence. So there's still a lot of products that do require active cooling. And for these situations, we have a new hot swap fan. So in case if something goes wrong with your CCR 2216 fans, you don't need to shut it down. You can just swap the fan on the go, zero downtime. And then there are some new accessories. The QMP LDF. It's not a medieval torture device for the fingers or anything like that. It's actually a pole mast mount adapter for LDF. So if you don't have a satellite dish, you can still use LDF, just put it in and you're ready to go. Of course, there are also some softer topics in the newsletter. It's not just about new products. We also try to tell you about everything relevant inside the company. And one of the huge things is the new graphic identity. We have a new logo, and for some it might not seem important at all. However, these things matter in this time and day and age. And the new logo, first of all, you can see it as our commitment. With this new logo, we try to communicate with the existing and potential clients what are our values, what we want to do, and also to reflect upon some of the things that we have done already. So I hope that you like the new logo. We are already printing the new logo on some of our new products, so you will see it pretty soon. But until now, just visit our website, read the newsletter and see all the ideas behind the new logo. And I promise, it's not just a fancy picture. It's something that each employee of MikroTik holds dear, and it's something that reminds us of our common values. So that's the new logo. Maybe you see it as a fancy hexagon with the M inside, but it's so much more than that. So please take a look at the full description. There's also some fun facts in there, like the role of the hexagon in the nature. So take a look. Then there's all kinds of useful information about the upcoming events. Finally, the pandemic is starting to become manageable, and we are seeing the possibility to start having some events, trainings and so on. So stay tuned for more of that. I'm very excited to finally start, well, somewhat normal life once again. Then we have some interesting use cases, and we try to include these as much as possible, but I think there's a section for these on our webpage in the makes. So we want to have a single place in our website where you will be able to see all kinds of interesting use cases, but for now just check out the newsletter. For example, there's a very interesting use case in this newsletter from India. They had to make a link between two sites in the middle of the ocean. All kinds of issues there. Line of sight, the waves keep moving up and down, right? Also the Fresnel zone issues for all you physicists out there. And you can't put a mast or a tower in the ocean as easily, right? So take a look at how they did it. Interesting stuff. That's all the time we have for today, and I hope that I made my point clear that newsletters have tons of interesting information from all the aspects of MikroTik, use cases, new devices, the stuff going on inside the company. We try to just be honest, about what's happening. So take a look at the newsletter, come to our forums. There's crazy discussions all the time. You can learn, and actually, if you just keep reading our forums, you will be like a PhD in networking in no time. So I hope to see you in the comments, in the forums, and hopefully in real life.